right, good. Whatever time of day you're listening to this at, that was some nice preposition usage.
Jeez. Can you tell we haven't done this for a while? Maybe. Well,
Yeah. Everyone's favorite professional, heavily edited metal podcast with a very consistent release schedule.
Absolutely.
With nothing but intellectual titans of the metal blogosphere.
Hey, you know what? I think we have some good conversation. We might be unprofessional, but that's not everything in the world. And you know what? People still listen, so...
Yeah, I was surprised. I guess it's surprising amount of people do listen to this.
No, right.
No, I've actually been listening to a lot of the Toilet of Hell podcast.
Yeah.
Or just like play Celeste in my fleeting moments of free time.
Right.
And I don't know, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's interesting hearing like people actually talk about underground metal. That's not just reading about it.
Hey, we do that kind of. We don't just read about it.
No, I know, but like it's not like there's too much content where it's like, oh, by the way, we're going to be tracing the history of Rob Darkin, and
that is
talking about how and why he became a Nazi,
or
like
stuff
like that.
Fair enough. No real investigative journaling going on here.
No, other than the creme de la creme of Metal Sucks, Metal Injections news pages.
Of course.
Yeah, we got some truly low, like the lowest of the low news stories this week.
Man, there's
and
a
like
lot
the past
of
few
stuff.
weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess before we get to that and talk about whatever, I guess, what have you been listening to / thoughts on popular albums?
Whoa, actually, I listened to the new Sufjan Stevens album today.
I thought it was like very meh.
It was, I mean, I don't know. He's a talented guy. There's nothing innovative on it, but like it sounds good.
That's fair. I mean,
like that's pretty much it.
For the past like 3 years has just been kind of underwhelming. Like his album from earlier this year, his album from the year before, they just kind of were like meh.
No, I'm totally with you. I mean, he's been making the same music for obviously 20 years, with just different sheens on it, and obviously like his big records, Illinois, Michigan, like those albums all at least do something a little bit more interesting than I think something like this does. A New Beginning, I think it's called, right? Something like that. Regardless of what it is, yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like, I might listen to it again.
That sounds about right.
I might listen to it again, but like...
I think we added it at my radio station.
I mean, like, he's just the guy when it comes to, like, indie folk, indie rock. Not indie rock, I won't even go that far. Singer-songwriter, indie...
Singer-songwriter, indie stuff, yeah.
He's just
the guy.
He's just the guy. So, like, whenever he drops a record... Yeah, it's gonna be good. Like his voice is great. The instrumentation is nice. It's just it's not really anything special. If you look at
R.E.M., like everything after Carrie and Lowell's like significantly lower.
Yeah, I mean it is hard to follow up a record like that.
No, I mean I remember having a conversation about Sufjan announcing a new album in like the spring with a few, let's say more casual music listeners,
sure,
but still fairly knowledgeable, and like all of them. Like out of like 5 people are like, yeah, Sufjan just kind of sucks after 2015.
Yeah.
So
no, I know.
I don't know. I'm sure it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the creme de la creme, best album of the year so far. Spiritbox is A Perfect Blue. How are we thinking, Adam? How are we feeling?
I mean, it's just it's Spiritbox, man. Like. It is. I don't know why. It came out through. It came the computer. It's. I don't know, man. Like, I really can't listen to this music. Like, seriously, it's hard. But for what it is, it's fine. Like, it's gonna sell super well.
This record is hysterical to me because like, it is just like above average. I guess progressive gent metalcore / just popular metal, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
it's like slightly above average. And like I listened to this record 4 times. Every time I hear like the semblance of enjoyment. And I love, we love all the OG Gent stuff. So we should not have a huge aversion to this. But gosh, man, it's nothing special.
Nope. And the auto-tune really does kind of take you out.
What the heck? Like, Courtney LaPlante is literally one of, if not the best vocalists in this sort of niche.
Right.
And she, like, you've seen her live videos. You've seen her at the videos where she does, like, one take. She's insane. She's pitch perfect.
Even on the singles of, like, their first, like, their EP, like, they're great. Like, Holy Roller's a fucking meme, but, like, she performs so well on that song.
Seriously, yeah, no, she's super consistent. And then, like, it boggles my mind that for the album release, they're like, yo, what if we auto-tune every clean part?
I couldn't tell you why.
Auto-tune's fine. It can be used tastefully. I like music with auto-tune for the most part. But, like, get it 100 feet away from any heavy metal or punk music. It does not deserve...
It does not.
Unless it's, like, hyper-pop, it does not belong there.
Right.
And there are so many moments on this record where I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. And then I can hear, like, the Melodyne, like, pitch corrections. And, like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh! And, I don't know. This track list is also, like, pretty uneven. Like,
yeah, it's not the most consistent.
Certain tracks just suck ass. Like, we live in a Strange World and Eternal Blue. I'd never want to listen to the songs ever again.
Fair enough.
I think The Summit's really boring. I think Secret Garden's boring.
No, I mean,
everything else here is pretty good.
The singles are good. Like, the ending tracks are pretty good too.
Yeah, I mean, I like the little, like, the melodies on, like, Sunkiller. Circle With Me's a bop. Holy Roller's obviously a bop.
Yeah.
I like Hurt You. I even like, like the closer constants. Like, they're all well done. It's just like,
it's all well done.
I don't know. It just feels jagged, and you can only hear so many like start stop like rhythmic gent guitar
seriously.
riffs. I mean, I love that stuff, but what makes an album like P2 really engaging is just the sheer like audacity that some of the riffs have.
Right.
Like, look at, like, Scarlet. Like, let's think of that main riff, right? It's like a 2 guitar part as, like, this really bizarre slide pattern that loops on, like, a 9. And the song has 2 variations of that riff.
Right.
A chorus riff, a verse riff, and a bridge riff.
Very involved.
Right? Very involved. And that's what kind of makes it interesting,
right.
even if really Periphery are just doing metalcore with
they're just
more nuts and bolts.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, look at a song like, I don't know, let's pick Holy Roller because it's one of the better ones. Great song, but, there are 2 riffs in the entire song, and they're about as simple, like, I could figure it out on 7 strings.
It's just fucking palm mute chugs, dude. Like,
do 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 do.
Yeah, with a melodic line. That's it.
Yeah, and I don't know. Look, this stuff's well done. I don't understand why the collective music press was like, holy fucking shit.
I mean, I don't know. We could have another conversation about reverse sexism in metal and experimental music, but that's kind of a tried and true PMMetalGuide take at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know. I've honestly thought about that stance a lot in the past month with Lingua, and I'm taking for those who don't know, I've studied feminist theory somewhat extensively in college, so like I'm pretty like well read on this sort of thing. And I don't know, I just keep on coming back to that take, and like, is that just misogynistic of us? And at the end, I don't think it is, and I think there is a clear pattern.
No, it is a pattern. Like, there's no, I mean, we had a conversation about this a year ago when we were talking about Holy Roller's release, right? Like, when the song came out, we were like, okay, Holy Roller is just the biggest song right now. Why is that the case? And I don't know. It holds true. We even had a conversation on the last episode about, the Grammys.
Oh, Lingua.
And Lingua.
Too.
Like, it was the fact that, because all the old white, music industry plants are running the Grammys, Olivia Rodrigo's going to win Best Song of the Year, Best Album of the Year, and
totally.
It's just reverse sexism. Well, that's even worse in my opinion.
Yeah, that's like sort of predatory.
It's very predatory.
I think in this case, it's the fact that the collective metal press is largely progressive thinking, and they recognize that women musicians have been historically overlooked for a number of reasons, and that so it's more subconscious. But when they see like a really prominent new female artist, they're like, "Oh wow, you know what?
I mean,
and they rated a little higher than they might have.
we can kind of, I know it's not fully truthful, and we can kind of jump to shark, and we can go right to Succumb's new album. And you know what? I think that record is amazing, but at the same time, it's getting a lot of positive press. So I don't know.
No, gosh.
I don't know.
You're not gonna let me finish my diatribe.
No, you can go back to the diatribe.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, dude. So, I've been also like looking at like the marketing for this album. Insane. So, Spearpox signed with Rise in 2017, right?
Right.
And they released their first record. Does pretty well.
Yeah.
So I was reading an interview with I forget the guy's name. The guitarist, Courtney's husband, in Spearpox. And basically, they've had this album done since, like, early 2018.
So they've just, it's just building hype?
Yeah, they've just been sitting on it. The Holy Roller music video comes out.
Right.
Rise promotes the shit out of it. They do a lot of targeted ads. Then, instead of dropping the album a few weeks later, right, they wait until Spearpox and tour. So Spearpox starts touring with Limp Bizkit, right? All the while, they're releasing, like, a Spearpox single video and full promotion every, like, 3-4 months. Then when the album finally comes out, they pay for a full press kit for everything. Like, I got a Spearpox press kit for my college radio station.
It's funny.
And... Right, so they went absolutely in. They start doing pop-up shops in LA and Toronto across the country for it, and they start a massive social media campaign with targeted advertisements. So like this is, I don't know, for me this is, it's a number of things that leads to success, but I think the ludicrous massive marketing push on Rise Records' part is definitely like bearing most.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, like the bigger songs here have 3 million. 1 million, 6 million plays, and obviously Holy Roller is far above that. But, like, that's a lot, especially for a debut.
No, and, like, let's be real, this is a fairly niche genre.
Yeah, certainly. And
it's like a micro niche.
And still, like, you'd expect that fans of really shit gent like me and you, like, I don't know, we would really encourage it. But I wouldn't expect there to be that many people who, are into that sort of stuff. But
no, exactly, man. I mean, this was very, like, the reason we're even talking about this was very much the effort of a very concerted marketing effort by some people at Rise Records. And, like, hey, I get it. Look, I mean, I had a conversation about this with a few friends driving to a concert earlier, which I'll talk about.
Whoa.
We got 2 concert reviews courtesy of me this week. But we were talking about, like, a lot of that, too, is the image. Like, Spiritbox has, a conventionally attractive girl as their vocalist, and they were very much marketed that way,
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I mean, the only other, like, band in that niche would be, like, Ginger, right?
Right.
But Tatiana doesn't have dyed hair, and she's also not white. So
God damn it!
I mean, I say that like
no, you're right.
Recognizing.
I mean, Courtney LaPlante, just like she really fits the e-girl aesthetic that I think. I don't know, a lot of the metal community can resonate towards.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, I'm on metal TikTok. Every other TikTok is like, some. A female presenting individual like dressed in like full goth getup, and then like pointing a finger up, and text appears over like a really popular Slipknot or Deftones song, and that has like 100,000 favorites sometimes.
Yeah,
right. I mean, metal's a lot of incel-y straight white dudes. Like,
yep.
There's a reason there's such a Nazi presence.
If the shoe fits, man.
If the shoe fits, market to it. That's what I say.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been listening to the Succumb record a lot. I had no idea there was a girl in the band.
She's the vocalist. Yes. No, it's insane. No, all right. Jumping to the Succumb record. This Succumb record's insane. Like, just there's no better death metal this year. I'm sorry. This is just
I mean, when Stargum posted
about
it, they were like, "Yeah, this is going to be the death metal record of the year." Their previous record from like 2016 is amazing.
I remember listening to their 2017 debut, and I was like, I don't know. I didn't remember it being anything like this, because 21 is just, it's just nuts. It's it's so technical, it's so rhythmic, and it's so heavy, man. Like, the production, everything is just so cacophonous. Like, the guitars so heavy, the drums are just constantly doing, like, random fills and snare, like, rolls. It's just, it's gross. And the vocals are, like, perfect. It's just far enough off the death metal path where it's not just the standard kind of, like, death metal growl. And there are two vocalists. One of the guitarists also does vocals, but the main one, which is like the kind of like whiny, like low gravelly scream, is the front woman that I cannot remember the name of. But I don't know. I think this record's also really impressive for being on the Flenser, which is incredible. Especially since, like, they... I remember going on the Flenser website many a time and seeing, "Do not send us your black and death metal debut," in like, noise, whatever.
Yeah.
I always
it's
thought
great,
funny.
man. I mean, Flenser is like one of the cool, like, weird music labels.
Right.
Like, you know, they have quite a few. Have Nice Life comes to mind, who are like bigger than ever before in the past year. I don't know how.
No, seriously.
But yeah, it's cool seeing, like, you know, what would you call this? I
It's
just say
death metal.
like, with influence, but like there's grind influence, there's blackened influence, there's tech influence.
That's
like,
exactly what
I don't think it fits firmly in any of those, but it's definitely
death metal, yeah.
And like, I've been listening to so much death metal over the past few weeks, for whatever reason. And I don't know, this shit hits. Like,
no,
the riffs are there, songs are great, performances are insane. Everything's firing on all cylinders, and the production's massive. Like, what more could you want?
No, seriously.
I mean, I kind of have a hard time looking at this stuff, like, objectively, because you just hear riffs and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I think that, I don't know, that the technicality really does it for me, and like, it's really so rhythmic. There's always something going on, and like, the riff is changing to something else. It's going down, it's going up. The drums are flopping out. Even the bass is just like churning away at something. It's just it's really, like you said, it's massive. The record is just so almost impenetrable. There's just so much of a force coming at you when you hear it. Even like the small tracks, like the 1 minute opener or like the 2 minute like singles, like, they're just balls to the walls. They really don't hold back anything.
Seriously. I mean, it kind of like, it kind of reminds me of Full of Hell in the sense it's
seriously.
like so maximalist.
You're right. It's close to that sort of grind aesthetic, like very trumpeting ecstasy.
Yeah, totally.
Era.
Speaking of,
Hell.
I ordered the new record on vinyl. It's like on gold vinyl. I'm incredibly excited.
It's gonna be great too. That record's gonna be
those
really
singles
nuts.
are great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is a come record. Definitely be on a year-end list somewhere.
Oh,
I've also been re-listening to Ad Nauseam a bunch. I've been revisiting some the new Enigmatum's awesome. The new Discord's awesome. Those are really good.
Pretty darn good.
I'm finally sinking my teeth into ATVM or ATVM, however you pronounce that.
Adam. I don't know. I always thought it was like Adam, like ATOM or UM.
Oh, you know what? That's probably what it is.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's how I.
Also, dude, this Fawn Limbs record's sick. I don't know. A lot of heavy death adjacent things, and Replicant too.
Replicant's
we could talk
really
about
good.
Those individually or just gaze over it. But
yeah, whatever. I mean, we're still on big records. I mean,
you're right. Injuries.
I was right, dude. I called it. I gotta give myself some credit on that one. I didn't predict the 9, but like, I might as well have.
Yeah, I've seen people call this the Loveless of industrial hip hop.
I can see it. I think this record is close to perfect.
Yeah, it's pretty astounding.
No, you really don't know what you're getting into when you start outside up. Like, the record just goes in so many directions that you would never expect it to. And the singles, no indication of what the album has to offer. And good on them. Because, like, while they're both incredible bangers, like, the other tracks on here really, like, take that mood and just fucking sink it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's incredible. I don't know.
It's kind of like I remember hearing Death Grips for the first time
Right.
and being like, oh wow, this is really out there.
Yeah.
And then like sort of getting used to like that aesthetic. And now
Mm-hmm.
when you hear like songs like Get God or The Fever or whatever, sure they sound crazy, but for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
They're more like standard. But this Injury Reserve record, it feels like listening to experimental hip hop for the first time.
Yeah.
Like these beats, this production is like on another planet. Like I think of like Flying Lotus's stuff, like with like just more eclectic Gen Z influence.
Yeah.
And like the fact that the two DJs, one of Groggs, who killed himself in the summer, very
Rip Grogs.
very sad, and definitely gives the piece a different vibe. But like the way they're just sort of able to coast on top of it while talking about like nothing and everything at once, it's like insane. I don't know, the album feels like another experience.
No, completely. Like, it really demands your attention when you're listening to it. Like, you even like banging to Superman, that like just walking to class or whatever, I'm like getting fully into it, and I'm like, oh my god, I am having a breakdown in my brain as I'm listening to this record. It's so intense. All of the songs they have such a like somber and like dark undertone that obviously pervades Grog's death. But the amount of quotables and the amount of memorable moments even found throughout the madness is just astounding.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, it's very out there and eclectic, but it does have a lot of melody. It's not, it's still pretty consistently enjoyable.
And
Unlike some more like ultra picks from
right.
the genre.
And even going into sort of the same experimental rock vein that, Death Grips is kind of known for. Like, I was listening to The Powers That Be a lot the last couple of months, because that's, just objectively the best Death Grips album. But
clearly,
like a lot of that Jenny Death stuff is literally just rock music, and obviously that translates here. Like,
powers who know what you are.
Footwork in a like Forest Fire. You got Wild Wild West has guitar. Even SS San Francisco has that weird guitar line on it. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't want them to follow the same path that Death Grips is taking, and I don't. But it's kind of cool to like be able to pick that out even through the glitch and the industrial and all the other bullshit that's going on.
Yeah, no, I know. It's kind of like shoegazy almost. It's
very cool. Really, yeah. Dude, what do you think of the Minecraft Villager oofs, dude? That's literally my... I think that's hysterical.
I think they're great. I'm certainly a fan.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I can see why the entire internet's going bananas for this. This record, it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah. I'm very glad it exists. It's currently pending very high on my list, like near the top. Not all the way there.
Whoa.
Not all the way there, but it's near the top.
RYM? I think it's at the top of RYM.
It's doing it's battling Little Sims. It's been battling Little Sims for like the last couple of weeks.
Honestly, maybe this is just my latent misogyny, but I'm not the biggest fan of the Little Sims record. I've listened to it a few times.
I think it's got a couple good tracks. I think the first two tracks are pretty darn good.
I mean, look, it's all really well done. I don't know.
No, right.
Maybe it's a little too theatrical, I think, for me.
That's fair.
Like, a lot of the spoken word stuff just gets to me, and like some of the more like musically theater moments.
No, I understand. I was not the like biggest fan, and it's great, but it's also a little straightforward. There isn't that much anything weird going on in this album. It's just like a really good modern female-driven hip hop album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very, very. Adam just doesn't like British people. Clearly,
I clearly don't like British people. No, I don't know. It's pretty darn good. But I do like Injury Reserve quite a bit more, and even something like Call Me If You Get Lost.
Call Me If You Get Lost, baby.
Yeah, but semantics. We're a metal podcast. Yeah, no, I don't know, but yeah, Injury Reserve, great fucking record.
Yeah, no, it's really good. It'll definitely be up there. I mean, well, you listen to a Montero?
Oh, did I listen to Montero? Is that even a question? um, yeah, I mean, you know what? I honestly think the 7 from Fantano is right.
I'd agree. I mean, I think it's well done.
Not to base all of my opinions off Fantano, but I think that one. I think that one is correct.
I'm just gonna roll in next week. He's gonna be like, "Dude, hear me out,
bro." This
album of the decade.
Wait, he just gave. Oh my god, he just gave that Carcass record a 7.
Yeah,
which is not correct in my brain, but that's okay.
I don't know. I just don't like Carcass.
Right.
But a lot of people do.
No, obviously a lot of people do.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But no, yeah. I don't know where are we going? Oh, Montero.
Yeah, it's really well done. I don't know. It's like you can tell that Lil Nas X and his team knew what the hell they were doing every step of the way.
Absolutely.
All the singles deliver. Nothing lasts for too long. Production is consistently inventive for the most part. The lyrics, like, obviously it's wonderful having a gay black pop star. Like,
yeah.
For a lot of reasons, representation's very important, and also a lot of like popular culture comes directly from like black queerness. So it's important that we have someone to like sort of
spearhead
represent that. Yeah, exactly. The artwork's great. You could write a dissertation on like the promotional.
You seriously could.
Steps he took for this record. Insane. Talking about how they marketed. Yeah, I don't know. I agree mostly with Fantano here. I think a few tracks in the back end are a little slow. Other than that, it's pretty solid. This, some of the like Industry Babies like pop song.
Oh yeah. No question about that. And even what? Cool. It's funny. I think the pop punk songs here are okay.
Yeah, I agree.
They're not even bad. Like, he's got a great voice, and he's a good songwriter, or he's got a great team.
Maybe after Corey Taylor kills MGK.
Stop. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that later because that needs to be talked about.
It's so dumb. Jesus Christ.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Are there any other large records, or are we just gonna start? Have you
listened to the new Lil Huddy album, or even touched it with a 10-foot pole?
Wait, he actually dropped it?
Yes, it's dropped.
I thought it was coming out a little bit later.
No, it's out, dude, and it is abhorrent. Just listen to one song.
I listened to the single, dude. Am I gonna pollute my Last FM?
Yes.
Adam's gonna make us listen to the new Bad Wolves record, dude.
It's just atrocious, man. Like,
all right, let's listen to Don't Freak Out.
That's got Travis Barker on it. Travis Barker needs to stop. We love Blink,
dude.
He needs to
about
stop.
5 seconds. We're done.
No, like it's like
Rivers of Nile.
Rivers of Nile. That just came out though. Like,
no, it came out this Friday, right?
Yeah, like as of today, 2 days recording.
Okay, well, let's preface this. So, as someone who loves prog death in certain incarnations, like, I have an Opeth tattoo, right?
Right.
Rivers of Nile were always a band for me where I just didn't get the hype. Like, I remember we got Where Owls...
Yep.
What's it called? Where Owls Know My Name?
Yeah, Where Owls Know My Name. Or
Is
no.
that it? I don't know.
Where Owls like Know My Name. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, I was right.
Yeah.
I remember we got that at, like, a CD store, ripped it, and then listened to it for, like, a couple weeks. And everyone on the internet was collectively, like, orgasming over it. And I was like... I mean, this is fine. It's nothing special.
No.
Like,
the singles for that album are really good, but the whole record isn't the best.
Yeah, it's just not consistent. Like, Silent Life and A Home are pretty sick.
Oh, yeah. Those songs
and I really like the title track.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the rest of it is just kind of, like, very average.
Yes.
Like, it's like, and apparently, I don't know this because I've never listened to it, but the Rivers of Nile record before that is better. And Rivers and Owls Know My Name was just like the pop breakout because they really focused a lot more on.
Well, yeah,
like,
weren't they on
that
was their Metal Blade debut?
Yeah, it was
right?
their Metal Blade debut. So
no, they were on Metal Blade They were on Metal Blade for Monarchy too. They've been on Monarchy. They've been on Metal Blade since their beginning. Actually,
wow, I wonder how. What connection did they have? What got them that?
But anyway, Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Hours of No Way was them sort of dumbing down their sound a little for a larger audience, and it worked. So good for them. But the works is I listened to it twice, and it's fine. It's a little bit weirder than Owls, and it's well done for the most part, well performed, well
I
produced.
mean,
But I don't know.
they're a talented band, and they do have very weird shit in their music.
Yeah, I mean,
At least for the
everyone remembers
genre,
those sax solos,
right?
but like I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like there are so many like not dime a dozen. I feel like there's so many like forgotten prog death artists that like drop like these crazy opuses and then disappear because the genre's just too much. I don't understand why like Rivers of Nile didn't do that.
Well, even you have a band like Rivers of Nile, Black Crown Initiate. Like I don't know, I could name
Like,
I could
I don't
name
know, like,
so many more.
Like yeah, Lapidus or
Yeah.
what's that band? The Human? No, what's that record? That like one random YouTuber like that band. They have like two albums. One is like orange watercolor, and the other's like blue watercolor.
I don't fucking
And you
know.
were like, Sam, these are so good when you were like 16. And all the songs are like 20 minutes, and it sucks.
I don't know. I can't. I honestly, clearly, it was not good enough to
I mean,
stick
you got
around.
like what Persephone.
Yeah, Persephone. That's.
I mean, I don't know. I just like I like prog death.
I think.
for the most part.
You know what, dude? If there's gonna be metal radio, or any sort of like, this is a song. This is a band I'm okay with being in metal playlists. You know, like
Yeah, look,
Right.
I feel like generally positive towards Rivers of Nile,
Right.
Like, but nothing special.
yeah.
And I don't know. It seems this new record's just pretty good as opposed to amazing, but I'm sure it will do well.
It'd be fun live.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly kind of want to see that tour they're doing with like Carnifex and Black Dahlia Murder.
Yeah, no,
and,
big
like,
tour.
Undeath.
Yeah, on Death.
I mean, I don't like any of those bands, but that's a sick lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Rivers of Nile. Felt we should touch upon that at the very least.
Other. We haven't talked about the new Low album on the podcast.
Oh, we haven't? Gosh.
Nope.
Okay, obviously this album is well done. I fucking hate it. I've tried listening to this album like 4 times. I actually got it early. I got it in August for the radio. And every goddamn time I listen to it, I hear, oh wow, like some noisy, weird guitar loops, sick. And then the vocals come in, and like, I just want to die. Like, I forget the lowest vocalist name, but he sounds like he was genetically grown in a lab to just sound like the most generic, like stereotypical whiny indie white guy voice.
It's really interesting because if you go back to like I Could Live in Hope, you know, the album that invented slowcore, it's so much different. Like it's really so much different. It's the same guy, you know. He's been Alan Sparhawk. I think
it's just
is his
two
name.
dudes,
like,
right?
No,
It's a girl.
It's a girl and a dude.
It's a girl and a guy.
Mimi Parker and Alan Sparhawk, I believe. And yeah, it's really weird. And I got to give it to Mimi. She sounds great on this record. But yeah, Alan's vocals do kind of great. A little.
They just kill me. It's like these instrumentals are so awesome. They're so expansive.
Yeah.
They have all these like cool little layers and like melodic depth or whatever. And then the lyrics are just, boilerplate, whatever. And the vocal styling, it just kills me. He sounds like a much shittier Andy Hull, and it doesn't fit the music at all.
It's weird. I don't know if I don't feel great about this record, but I do like it. Like White Horses is a pretty darn good
It's
song.
well done. Don't get me wrong. It's obviously,
very well done.
So many people wouldn't love it if it wasn't, but Jesus, man.
You really gotta throw yourself into this is a pop record that's weird sphere. You can't look at it.
It's a pop record with like
you can't look at
bizarre
it any weird anyway
production.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. Shudders. You ever listen to the new Iron Maiden?
Like once or twice. Unfortunately,
not my cup of tea
either.
I was gonna. I don't know. I have a few like Iron Maiden related news things we can talk about when we get there. But that's
sure.
good for now.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have too much other big stuff. I'll look at my.
I know September's usually somewhat slow, and then October and November go hard.
Oh, well, this isn't really little. Have you listened to the new Skepticism yet?
1 second.
It came out on Friday, like 2 days ago.
Oh, companion.
Yeah, new album, dude.
Oh, on Fart.
Yeah.
I should. I have. I have not listened to it.
I mean, it is. Have you heard Stormcrow Fleet? Their first album. It's the same.
I have.
Well, it's not the same.
Yeah.
No, it's not the same. But it's the same. It's the same synth-heavy Funeral Doom.
Okay, well, I'm sure it's good then.
Well, yeah. I mean,
no,
the band.
I saw AMG reviewed it and they liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously very different than like the Bell Witch or Ahab brand of Funeral Doom. But like it is the other vein of Funeral Doom, and they are kind of the people that invented it. So you got to give them a little bit of credit. And like I don't know, they perform. They sound great. The synths sound great. The riffs are there. I kind of wish that they had a couple of the longer tracks here, because the longest one's only 10 minutes, like on the dot.
And Funeral Doom?
No, right, exactly.
That's a pop track.
So that's kind of jarring, but overall, like they're really good songs and they're pretty darn heavy, for what they are. Yeah, I mean, thumb up, but not the most memorable thing in the world. I still like like the Body Void album a little bit more, and I still like the Hellish Form album a lot more, and that's the other Funeral Doom album that is on my radar. And that it just does more interesting stuff. Like this is just a good Funeral Doom album. Fans of Skepticism should be happy, I guess.
Look, I'm sure it's great.
Yeah.
I will check it out. The fact that it's on Svart helps.
Yes. Yeah. They also just put up all their records on Spotify.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yep. They're all up now.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. What else? I feel like something else came out that I'm missing. Underground stuff.
I don't think anything like
stuff.
particularly large.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right.
We're gonna talk about upcoming releases and singles because there are a few that I'm excited for.
Do you want to do underground stuff?
Oh yeah, we can do underground stuff.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like I don't have too much to say for the more like abstract underground stuff because it's abstract.
Sure.
But I guess we'll begin. I finally listened to the new Fond Limbs record, and oh wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's it's a different album than their other two for sure.
Yeah, it's like a I don't know, mathcore like Death Sludge musical.
No, that's kind of exactly what it is.
I love it.
No,
when you told me that, I was like, they have spoken word interludes between everything. I was like, oh, it's gonna suck so much ass. And then I listened to it, and it's Fond Limbs doing their sound like a little more out there with spoken word interludes and like a lot of really cool ambience and like I don't know, thing rips. It's awesome.
It's really awesome. Like the band, I don't understand where their songwriting is at, like because it is just in every form here. You have the death grind stuff from like their first album. You have the absolute fucking blister core of Sleeper Vessels, and then you have this new ambient storytelling side with sludge metal, and all those pieces fit really well together, and they just kind of make this thing that's really unique and really good.
Expertly done. Like also like thing sounds immaculate. It sounds like a Colin Marston mixing. I don't know if it's necessarily him, but you can hear absolutely every note of every instrument.
Now I kind of want to know who did produce
and like
this
the
album.
horns and like little flourishes sound immaculate. And it's insanely heavy.
Yeah, very heavy.
Like stupid levels of heavy. Like you'd play this in front of your mom and she'd be like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah,
or something.
But no, super
Who mixed
good.
It?
I'm looking on the Bandcamp right now. Sam Vaney.
Oh.
At Lead and Sulfur Studios.
Didn't Pedram mix there?
Pedram mixed Sleeper Vessels.
That's funny.
Lead and Sulfur Studio. Anyone that I know been on Lead and Sulfur Studio? Let's check.
I don't know.
Let's
Down the rabbit hole, I guess.
Lead and Sulfur Studios. Mixing and mastering. Sorry, interlude. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
In the meantime, I'll also talk about the Replicant album. A lot of, not a lot, but I've seen people on metal forums specifically call this like the next Obscura, and it is, to quote the Toilet of Hell article, it is like the dumbest smart album you'll ever listen to.
I agree with that, actually.
It really sounds like, you know, Puron or like Gorguts or like Demi-Lich style, like dissonant tech death with just the most ridiculous caveman stylings.
It's really funny. I played a couple of the singles on my show, and yeah, it's really stupid.
Like, they'll be doing, like, you know, the Gorguts thing where they play, like, these super dissonant riffs with, like, odd time signatures and, like, death wails, and then suddenly be like, wait, is one guitar doing 8 pinch harmonics in a row? And then, like, they'll just start, like, doing caveman chugs while, like, while you hear, like, a swirling, like, I don't know, F augmented 9 chord or something.
Sure.
And it like really shouldn't work, but it does. I don't know. It really sounds like if saying the Sugavog we're like covering Demi-Lich, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's like the record's way better than it should be. Having a lot of fun with it for what it is.
The Fond Limbs album. It's. Do you know who Throwain is?
No.
Okay. It's an obscure, I think, German studio, but they did it's in Switzerland actually, and the guy is it's like a band called Consor, and I think the reason that they did that is because there's so many people on this album, and like there's a lot of features and weird bullshit, and so they might have reached out to like an artsy label. I don't know, or an artsy.
Hey, look, whatever gets your album mixed. I mean, things sounds immaculate,
right? But as for Replicant, I agree. I think you described it pretty close on. It's super dissonant fun tech death with the classic death metal cheese, and I think
like but turned up to 11.
Yeah.
Okay, also, speaking of cheese turned up to 11, I finally got into Old Nick.
Stop, dude.
Oh my god.
No, I'm telling you. Like, no one is as forward-thinking as Old Nick. And you know what? Remember Jamak from the Stereogum Bandcamp list, which, by the way, I have been grinding the hell out of because that album is so goddamn fun?
Yes.
They're on his label.
Based.
And that's where all that, like, new, raw, weird black metal is getting released.
It is just like the level of like not taking themselves seriously is just something to aspire to. Like there's no bass on these tracks. The guitars like sound like, you know, it's being recorded through like an elastic band.
No, literally, like it's the worst but best like raw black metal out there. It's hysterical.
And, like, on their newer stuff, dude, it's the funniest shit ever. Like, they'll be playing raw black metal, and then they'll just have, like, a fucking, I don't know, carnival soundtracks on top of it.
No.
While they talk about, like, the dumbest shit that you could ever imagine.
Dare we say based? I don't know. No, yeah, I think it's funny. It's you should have got on the bandwagon when it was cool, but... No, yeah.
Dude, what do you mean? Everyone likes Old Nick now.
Yeah,
they got like interviews
and
like Invisible Oranges and whatnot.
No, yeah, I know. They're Papa. But yeah,
I know it's so funny. And apparently, I was reading those interviews, and I had no idea they just like shit out all these albums in like 8-hour long studio sessions, and they do one take of everything.
I mean, you know what? It makes 100% sense.
No, literally. They're like, well, we've all played black metal for about 10 years or so, and, you know, it's really easy to come up with on the fly. And I don't know, it's so cool. It's like, it feels so pure, because, like, Maybe I'll mention it a little later, but I had like another realization this week, just how many goddamn Nazis there are in black metal.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just obviously way too many, and
Yeah.
it's cool to see that, like, these guys are just literally making like the shittiest but great like raw black metal with like dumb song titles, but like horror monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I Am Vampire Castle, the album.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it. It feels very pure.
No, it's very. I think pure is a good way to put it. It's just it's fun. Like there's nothing more about it. Like they got fucking chiptune, dude.
It's
Yeah,
great.
I don't know. I don't.
Too much black metal takes itself
Yes.
ridiculous levels of serious. So
Yes.
it's nice to see these guys literally just like doing this.
Yeah. Actually, kind of, on that wave of old Nick,
Are you gonna mention the Lamp of Murmur?
I was gonna mention Lamp and Murmur, but I was actually gonna go somewhere weirder. I found a band. I don't know. You probably have heard them. Blind Equation. No, yes, no,
Nope.
yes. All right. Well, they're like, and the only reason that I kind of had any interest in this is because I played them on my show, and they retweeted my tweet, which was really nice.
Oh my god,
but
you're so cool.
But anyway, it's cyber grind with like emo and melodic metalcore, and I know that sounds weird. I know, no. It's all, from what I can mostly picture, it's all synthetic. But, like, it has really good songs that are, like, 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes. That's it. And it's just, like, these really kind of blistering, but also, like, really tongue-in-cheek, like, Nintendo core tracks with, like, these really shitty, like, boxy like emo screams, and it's fucking hysterical to listen to, but like it actually goes kind of hard. I don't know, like
I 100% believe it.
like if you listen to like any of the Blind Equation tracks, like it's just really funny. And I don't know, they're coming up, like they're a full band, because I was obviously deep diving their Twitter, and they're an actual band, and like they play live. So like, yeah, no. So I think it's super interesting and something to watch out for, because they're independent for now, but I don't know. Who knows how long that'll last?
What's gonna? Yeah, right.
But yeah, I don't know. Peep them. It's kind of they have a new album, Life is Pain, that came out, I think, 2 Fridays ago. And it's pretty good, other than the tracks with features. The tracks with features suck.
I 100% believe it. Most metal artists can't do features well, unfortunately.
Yeah. Fuck. So, I don't know. Something cool for all you weird heads out there. But yeah, let's jump. Have you heard the Lamp and Murmur album?
I've seen a lot of people love it. I've just been sort of like, I don't know if this is for me.
It's pretty good. I don't know.
I'll buy it.
It's black metal. At least,
I thought it was like new wave black metal.
No. There are a couple of dungeon synth tracks, but like
I read a pretty long Invisible Oranges interview with the person behind it, talking about how they were incorporating like new wave.
Well, there
elements
is certainly new wave elements, and like they do a lot of really interesting production stuff, and like some of the black metal tracks do transition into new wave sections, but like the lengthier tracks where there are mostly black metal are pretty good, and even the new wave's good. But I understand that. But I still think at its heart it's a black metal album. It's not fully foregone, I guess.
No, that makes sense. I mean, normally when people say like, "Oh yeah, this is actually a combination of like I don't know, two very unrelated genres," it's not quite what you'd expect.
Right, and like the production is still heavy as shit and like really raw. So I like that in my black metal.
Nice.
For sure. Let's see. Anything else underground that is worth mentioning?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's
Most
for the
of it.
most
Yeah,
part.
it's got to be most of it.
I mean, we got a few new singles to mention
Oh
that
yeah.
we never spoke about.
Oh
Like the new Chemist single,
yeah.
Slap. Very excited.
Oh yeah, it does.
New Mastodon single, very Slap.
Actually, yeah. Seriously.
Like I saw a new Mastodon single. I was like, "There's no way this is good," and it's actually really good.
It's actually pretty darn good.
It's like one of the better Mastodon singles I've heard in like a while.
Yeah.
For their double album, will it be listenable? Who knows?
I don't know, man. We're gonna go see that tour.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. I was gonna have a whole tour announcement, but yeah, bought tickets to see Opeth, Mastodon, and Zealand Ardor in Boston. So that should be sick.
That's actually wicked sick.
Yeah, like, I mean that lineup's ridiculous. I wish they were playing the Palladium like they should.
Yeah.
And not the Wang Theater where tickets that aren't like 800 feet from the stage range from like 100 to 300. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna go sit down and see a metal show. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I'm gonna watch Blackwater Park unfold, and I'm not gonna mosh, which is a crime.
Dude, right? I feel like there wouldn't even be a mosh if like Opeth were playing a larger venue.
I mean, fair enough.
I mean, I don't know. I'd make it my mission to open the Opeth pit.
Oh yeah.
Like they're playing like I don't know, Will o' the Wisp. And I'm like, let's fucking go, circle fucking. Just start like being an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd do it, especially if they played like Leper Affinity or like Reed
Oh,
or,
yeah.
like Deliverance.
You gotta go
have
hard.
to go for it.
Right.
Okay, yeah, Chemist sick, Mastodon sick, new Full Hell singles really good.
Oh yeah.
That's to be expected. The new Archfire singles also really good.
Didn't that album drop too?
No. October.
Oh. Yeah, we talked about the other singles in the last one, but yeah. They are good. I am excited for the new Archspire, even though I am not ready for the wave of stay tech that I am going to see on the internet.
Stay tech. I don't know. It's funny we still haven't seen them live. After all.
Yeah, true.
Let's see. Should I give my nice long concert reviews of the wonderful shows I saw this week?
If you'd like to, sure.
All right, so let it be known, audience, that Adam had the opportunity to come to both of these, and
boy.
he made some dumb excuse to get out.
No, they were not excuses. And frankly, one of them came up really quick, and I didn't even really know about it until it was kind of too late. But one of them I certainly could have gone to. That I will fully, hands down, admit.
Yeah. So I saw last Thursday. It gives you any hint when we're recording this. A couple Thursdays ago, I guess, when this releases, I saw Knocked Loose.
No, it was a Friday.
Oh yeah, last Friday.
The only reason I couldn't go is because it was a very specific date. But anyway, yes.
I saw them at the Middle East at a sold-out show, Middle East Downstairs in Cambridge, and it was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. So we're from New England. Boston hardcore is sort of a meme in of itself. One of the big hardcore boroughs, along with like New York and LA. Mm-hmm. Specifically in the 90s and early 2000s. So, nice vibrant hardcore scene. And the Middle East Downstairs, I think, is a 500-seater.
Something like that.
Luckily, masks were required at the show. Vaccine cards or vaccination or negative COVID test within 24 hours was required. So, it was relatively safe as far as like underground metal shows go. Mm-hmm. The opening band was Karma from Chicago. They played sort of like a more straightforward, like I don't want to say like straight edge hardcore, but more like a late 90s like Hatebreed sort of thing. They were very good. The entire crowd for all the bands was going bananas, but specifically for Knocked Loose was sick. Magnitude played, who are like a fairly well-known straight edge band. They slayed. I'm not the biggest fan of like gosh, what would be an example of like Darby from Germs like style stage vocals? But what are you gonna do? They were great though. Gatecreeper, we saw Gatecreeper a few years ago with Full of Hell, and Gatecreeper absolutely delivered. Their brand of like I guess very like riffy and very like listenable old school death metal just hit differently in this sort of live setting. The crowd was definitely feeling
Did
it.
they play any of the grind tracks?
They did not play any grind tracks. Nothing from the new album.
Lame. No,
It was sick though. Like
I thought they were sick.
Basically, the Middle East floor after that point was just the entire thing was a push pit.
Yeah.
There weren't too many people hardcore dancing and like karate chopping for the gatekeeper. But when Knocked Loose came on, oh my god! I mean, it was like one of those memes from like the early 2000s, like what happened when you two-step and then like a keyboard cat or something. like they came on with a new song actually, and then just kind of proceeded to run through any Knocked Loose song you might care about, and it was amazing. Like I was surprised how many people knew like every word. So during like all the super iconic like call outs, like everyone was just like going hard. Like, I followed the rabbit hole and I found my fucking ending, or Dead Ringer, watch me, motherfucker, go. I don't know. It was awesome. It was nuts. Like, so the way the Middle East Soundstairs works is there's basically like a large floor that kind of ramps upward, and then areas on the side, except it's all like relatively small because it's not a huge club.
Yeah.
And the entire floor was pitting the entire time. There were like 1 or 2 stage dives a minute. Our guy Brian Arf was in the crowd every now and then. I went with actually a large number of people, surprisingly, and one of them broke their arm in the pit. One of them like sprained their knee in the pit. It was pretty nuts.
Wow.
And particularly like, so they did an encore. I'm not the biggest fan of encores, but it was pretty cool. And then they played Guided by the Moon and then Counting Worms, the one with the very famous. And I think every person in the venue two-stepped to Counting Worms. It was sick. Like every single person, they did like, I wrote a song about getting better. Arf, arf, do, 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 do. And like, it was ludicrous.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It was just such a fun show. Knocked Loose absolutely killed it live. Gatekeeper were great. Opening bands are great. And the crowd energy was like unlike anything I've ever seen.
Wow.
In, years of going to these sort of things.
Hell yeah.
Also ran into an acquaintance from
high school days.
Yeah. And ran into someone that worked that's fairly notable in the New England metal scene.
Oh.
They're taking pictures.
Wow.
And he was just there, and I was like, "Oh, dude, what's up?" It was funny. Then last week, or I guess a few days ago, I saw Blood Incantation in the same venue.
Whoa.
And so in my mind, correct me if I'm wrong, Blood Incantation is sort of like a hipster death metal band, right?
Absolutely. They are, I would say, I don't know, they're like Tomb Mold for Stereo Gum. Like, yeah. I feel like if you're on Stereo Gum or even Rate Your Music, like, you have to love Blood Incantation.
Yeah, right?
And rightfully so.
I mean, they're amazing.
Yeah.
And I've in preparation, I really ground the Blood Incantation discography because, like, it's pretty dense. Their songs are long, very weird. They have a lot of riffs and practically no melody.
Yeah.
So a local band, Mourned, opened this
That's
time.
Cool.
And we actually saw Mourned a while ago. You probably don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
We saw them opening for Full of Hell a while ago.
Yeah.
And they killed it. Like, they were sick. The crowd was going bananas. Awesome time. After that, Funeral Leech played.
Okay.
Have you ever listened to Funeral Leech?
I think so. Well, hold on. Let me just do a quick. Yeah, maybe once or twice. Yeah, so actually, okay, yeah.
When I think Death Doom, I think like, I don't know, Hooded Menace, right?
Right. That's a bad example, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Funeral Leech would literally play like 10-minute long songs at like 50 BPM,
right?
With like slowed down death metal riffs. The drummer was the vocalist, and he was doing like cavern wails the whole time, and people were trying their goddamn hardest to mosh. It was, I don't know, it was like hysterical because this guy's playing like sleep music, right?
Yeah,
like stuff that if you were in the right headspace, you could just conk out.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like the crowd is trying so desperately to like go for it.
That's really funny.
And they're pretty good. Not necessarily my cup of tea. It was a little slow for me, but
sure,
it was good.
A little slow for your death metal show, right? Yeah.
Yeah, also, I was with a few friends, so we pushed up to the front for the blood incantation. I was like, guys,
Fuck
I
yeah.
don't think there's gonna be a pit for blood incantation.
You
There's
were
no way.
wrong.
Oh
I
my
bet you were
god.
wrong.
The
Yeah.
second, so their set, which was amazing by the way, they played Starspawn in full, and then Hidden History in full, back to back.
Kind of incredible, huh?
So the second they hit Blood Vitrification, right? They hit the opening note. The entire place starts going. I'm
Jeez.
I'm towards the front. I feel some dude slam right into me, and I'm like, "Fuck, I gotta get out of here." I don't really like being right in pits,
Yeah.
and so then I trudge across the entire floor to the back of the pit,
Right.
get like elbowed in the stomach a few times, and made it out of it. But dude, I shit you not, like it was the energy of like a hardcore show for blood incantation. Like
I mean, I'm sure it fit, and I'm sure it was incredible to watch.
it was ridiculous. Like half the crowd was hardcore dancing. They were crowd surfers, and like people were just going fucking bananas. And like in my mind, I think like the only people that listen to Blood Incantation are like 30-year-old
Yeah.
IT hipsters from Brooklyn with like kombucha, berets, and beards or whatever.
Right.
And so it was nuts just seeing like
Yeah.
all these people losing it to Blood Incantation.
Yeah, and
Like the-
I do feel like it's not exactly like the hardcore music that you can really dance to, Like, it's
exactly,
pretty... yeah, it is out there.
Yeah, like these songs are like 10 minutes long. They don't really repeat any riffs. They don't have any like breakdowns or anything.
Right.
Like they literally played Awakening from the Dream of Existence, which is like 20 minutes, and people were just losing their shit. I don't know. It was a super fun time.
Yeah.
I was not after Knocked Loose. I was like, oh, this is gonna kind of suck because like the crowd's not gonna be into it. I was wrong.
Yeah. That's
Ran
funny.
into that high school friend again, without planning it, and then
Right.
ran into the connection in the, I guess, New England metal scene again without planning it.
There you go.
This is kind of funny. But yeah, great shows.
Hell
I think
yeah,
the next
dude.
show I'm going to is sadly Slipknot, but that's
Yeah, that'll be fun.
you better come.
I might be able to show up. We could do a concert. We could potentially do a concert report, but we definitely have some shows coming up that PM Metal Guide will be talking about in the
Yes,
next couple of
should be
months.
fun.
So stay
Yeah,
tuned.
I don't know, man. I can drink alcohol at Slipknot. Okay, I'm old enough. Like, I
Dude,
don't
you'll
know.
have
Enough
fun.
said.
Well, fun singing Eyeless
All
and songs from the Great Chapter.
Actually, I listened to All Hope Is Gone today because I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me just give it a little. I was.
Yeah, no, dude.
That
Nope.
was a mistake.
Yeah, no.
I was like, you know what? The first few songs are good. Maybe the whole album isn't horrible.
Honestly, as soon as you hit Butcher's Hook, I'm out.
No, dude. Well, even Vendetta just sucks ass.
Yeah.
Like Vendetta to Wherein Lies Continue are borderline unlistenable. Like Snuff is an acoustic Slipknot song, so it only has so much mileage.
Yeah.
Like for what it is, it's fine. And then the last two songs suck so much ass.
Yeah, they really, really do.
Like the killing names of basically the first three songs are utter bangers and
Yeah.
and kind of dead memories. Then after that, everything's downhill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
I'm with you.
All right, we got some.
News.
We got a lot of news.
Do we want to start with seeing? Hey, we're on Slipknot. We might as well.
Wait,
that-
what happened,
dude-
with Slipknot?
Well, everyone's favorite. No one dislikes Machine Gun Kelly. Everyone loves him. He's a great guy who has good opinions on everything, and is a great
Yes.
musician who makes really good music. And he doesn't like Slipknot. Nope. For some reason, he has decided to come out and call out Slipknot for wearing masks well into their 40s and 50s and performing shitty metal music. Hey, you know what?
I mean, he's not necessarily wrong, but like, if you're in rock, you don't beef with Slipknot, man.
I feel like there's a pattern. I feel like many people have tried to beat with Slipknot in the past, and it has not ended up well for them. I could be wrong. But, like,
I can think of like Mushroom Head, and that's about it.
well, that's one. It's at least one. I don't know. It's just kind of fucking stupid to me that Machine Gun Kelly would say such things about a beloved band. And actually, I did see an article somewhere that said he got booed.
No,
Because
I have that article up.
because
He was playing a set at I think Louder Than Life or whatever, and he got booed between every song, and then he went into the crowd to like sing like I think like one of the big singles, like My Ex-Best Friend, and literally some people started to fight with him. Some people started punching him in the crowd.
I mean, like, it's just, I don't know, man. When you're Machine Gun Kelly, who has infiltrated a genre that he has no business being in, you don't. Why? Who are you?
I don't know.
What are you trying to accomplish?
It'd be one thing if like I don't know, like some OG like hardcore dudes or like some like classic metal bands are saying something, but like Machine Gun Kelly like was literally like a D-list rapper until last year.
Seriously, and now he's a C-list. Well, I guess he's an A-list pop punk star, which is disgusting.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. But like this dude has like whatever the opposite of cred is.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just funny. And then he tweeted after, he was like, "Oh, Corey Taylor wanted to do a verse and he sucked." And then Corey Taylor sent all the emails and whatnot. And it was just funny. I don't know. I saw so many tweets in my feed from like Code Orange and like Scotty Yan and like Trevor from Black Dahlia Murder. Like, dude, what the heck? Like Slipknot's an institution. Joey Jordison died this year, man. You don't shit on the knot.
No.
I don't know, it's just kind of funny though. Like this is like perfect example of like there being zero metal news that ever matters. Like metal injections.
No, seriously.
Like, metal sucks single-handedly propping up a story like this because they need clicks.
Of course. And like, you know what though? Like I don't know. Like I'm okay with the fact that this got plenty of publicity. I'm glad, and I am willing to have a discussion with anyone that is willing to support Machine Gun Kelly in this issue, because I would like to know their opinions. Truly, I think that would be a interesting conversation.
Yeah, right. I don't know. It's just like a dumb controversy to controversy's sake.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny.
It's kind.
You know what isn't funny?
What?
Actually, it's hysterical. But Dave Mustaine.
Stop! Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Dude, here we are. We're getting all these like D-list like old school metalheads like Wino, like I don't know, dudes from like Exodus, dudes from like Attila. By the way, like all these like these people that nobody's ever heard of, like doing the worst like COVID, like the middle dumb COVID denial.
Can you read? Do you have the Megadeth article?
Yeah, I have it up right now.
Can you read?
And then the king himself, someone who once called Obama like a rapist and pedophile, someone who supported Rick Santorum, the man Dave Mustaine, the legend himself, says, listen, it starts with this kind of sensation we build right now. We feel together. We feel like we're invincible. People are not going to stop us. Then, right now, what's going on is tyranny. This is called tyranny. Look it up when you get home. And tyranny isn't only in government.
It's
tyranny
in our
right now is in the schools, and tyranny is in the medical business. We have the power, especially us heavy metal fans. We have the power to change things. And then he manages to be Islamophobic and says, if you look what happened in the Middle East right now, here's what this song's about.
Oh, I didn't even hear that one.
Dude, fuck Dave Mustaine. What an ass.
That's awful. And as someone who's seen Dave Mustaine live, not worth it.
I don't know, man. Guy just like sucks dick. Like,
no, clearly.
Like, shut the fuck up. Here this guy is who, like, an aging boomer who hasn't made good music in probably like 40 years, riding on the coattails of like an era that just kind of that he lucked into.
Yep.
Like, and he's like, actively making the world worse by through COVID and vaccine denial. Like, Dave, what's the definition of tyranny? What's the definition of freedom? Like, I don't know, man. Just such a fucking idiot.
It's incredible. I mean, obviously, it's incredibly misinformed. We're pro. The PMMetalGuide comes out at this point as pro-vaccine, pro-mask.
Well, more specifically, pro-government subsidies for all the failing local businesses.
That absolutely is true. We have been on record to say that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Needless to say, it's really stark to kind of hear this coming from this big of a name. It's like if James Hetfield came out and said this shit, like that would tear the fucking world in half.
Yeah, I don't know. It's stupid. Like, I don't know. Old uninformed boomer spreads old uninformed boomer takes, except he's Dave Mustaine.
Right.
I don't know, kind of hysterical. Little did we know the final boss of like COVID misinformation in old school metal would be the man himself.
Who, James Hetfield?
Yeah.
I hope not, man. I mean, I don't know. I guess time will tell, but I think, I don't know. I mean, hopefully with this, there's a wave of sort of the, I guess, leftist black metal. I don't know. It's coming out, Like, there are certainly groups, or just leftist metal in general, man. There's not enough. And they're
just don't. I don't know. Yeah, maybe they'll. I mean, also like Dave Ellison literally, honked his horn a little too hard in front of probably a minor like earlier this year.
Right.
And so I don't know. I don't think any metal leftists are necessarily seeing Megadeth anyway. So
no, for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Stop supporting bad people. I know that Megadeth is still gonna be the biggest band in thrash, which is a crime, but here we are.
Speaking of other horrific individuals related to the metal scene, dude, I had Josh Homme. Did you see the latest bit of news of him?
Josh Homme?
Yeah.
I don't even know who Josh Homme
Queens
is.
of the Stone Age guy.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so keep in mind, in like 2016, Josh Homme knocked out just like a journalist at one of his shows with steel-toed boots by kicking her in the face. So great guy. He's also had several sexual assault harassments and him being piss-faced and saying ridiculously racist things over the years. But the new thing is that his wife filed a restraining order against him against his daughter and 2 sons, and that seems like wow, what's going on there? Well, the actual specifics details physical abuse, verbal abuse, pretty atrocious stuff, sexual abuse, like grabbing his children inappropriately. I don't know, man, dude's just an utter piece of shit, and it blows my mind that
they're young. Those kids are young. Those are kids, not teenagers, not grown children.
Yeah, under 10.
Children.
Yeah, so I don't know. It just blows my mind that we're still oh yeah, dude, and support Queens of the Stone Age and Kiss and his desert rock programs. What the hell? This isn't just a little thing oh man, he said something off color 30 years ago on stage. This is pretty legit.
Even Dave Mustaine is better than Josh.
Yeah, at least I mean, we don't know what Dave's done, but at least he doesn't have a restraining order against his kids for that.
Literally, yeah, no. It's atrocious, and obviously it's good that it's coming out now. I hope that people are intelligent enough and on the pulse enough to understand and see these things and make the appropriate sort of distinctions in their music listening and their support of artists. We can hope. I mean, it's just horrible. It really is. And at a point, it does kind of be well, shit. Something about rock music is doing this. I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you.
Actually,
you have a take?
I'm in a popular music seminar right now.
All right.
And we just read David Hesmondall's book on called Why Music Matters, and one of the conclusions he comes to is that rock is essentially a bastion of traditional conservatism for a number of reasons, and that a lot of the figures within that reflect a lot of the conservative values, and despite rock's initial status as an outsider scene, it's just come to represent that. And I think he's definitely right.
I think that's right too. I mean,
there's shitty people in every music scene. It's just,
Yeah, I don't know. Rock music. I don't know.
It just so happens that rock and metal are predominantly white dudes that are older.
Right.
which is a demographic that generally votes conservative. Anywho, why do you think Artificial Brains vocalist got kicked out or left?
I don't know, and
It's
I'm scared for the concert.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, whenever something like this happens,
Yeah.
I remember Vector. I just think of Vector.
Yeah,
the entire band left. They said personal reasons. They weren't going to elaborate. And then a year later, it comes out that our lad, the man behind Vector, is like this utter piece of shit. I feel like it has to be something similar.
Yeah. Likely.
Same with the Loath guitarist.
Yep.
Like, especially in high-profile bands like this, you don't just leave out of nowhere unless you did something atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, high profile is a strong term, but
right.
For bands like this,
from what I'm reading, the new vocalist has been with them for a while, and has been featured on all of their albums and has toured with them before. So
yeah, look, I'm not worried at all. I'm sure
I'm not that worried.
I'm sure the new vocalist will be great. I'm just like, what did this old guy do, and what does it mean?
Yeah,
for Artificial Brain. Interesting.
It's very interesting. God, man, like, it's got. I mean, you're right. It probably has to be something like that. I feel like, as the fall of Rome comes down the pipeline, we're gonna see a lot more of that. And obviously,
totally.
The fall of Rome.
Totally. Or like we never even spoke about like mindless self-indulgence. Jesus.
No, we didn't.
Like, I mean, turns out when you have power in a scene dominated by younger people and like insecure people, and you're a shitty person, it becomes very easy to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Same thing in like there's a reason why the Smash community in particular has an issue with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anywho, so we got some tour announcements.
We do.
I feel like the Wolves in the Throne Room Full of Hell and Wada tour is sick.
Unbelievable. I was shocked. Honestly,
it's like new levels of sick.
No, seriously. Like, Wolves in the Throne Room is gonna be killer. Like, Full of Hell on their new album is gonna be insane. And you know what? Uwana might not be the best songwriters in the world, but I'm sure they'll be great live.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you just hear like Worse Migwa, I mean, that's great live.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, maybe hopefully they don't perform the spoken word track bit from Jin.
What do you mean, dude? Come on.
But yeah, no, that's stupid levels of good.
Yeah,
I'm very excited for that show. Equally as excited for the Ghost and Volbeat arena.
Stop! That's hysterical, dude.
I wanted to talk about Iron Maiden a bit, and there's this metal. There's this Month in Metal Black Market column from like 2 months ago where they one of the guys makes the Iron Maiden index, right?
Yeah.
Where basically he puts Iron Maiden at 100 and then does all
that.
the things to calculate. And to give you some like perspective, a band like a band like Suffocation.
Sure.
Or actually, let me go even a little bit further. A band like Body Void, right? Who, for us, I'd be like, oh, they're pretty well known, right? Are at negative 99.
Right.
Right? And Iron Maiden being at 100. Ghost is at 72.
Isn't that nuts?
Like, Ghost somehow, I mean, I could tell you how, but Ghost somehow became like one of the biggest bands in heavy music, period.
Yeah.
And the fact that they can just reliably book arena tours is nuts.
Absolutely it is. And you know what? I am completely complicit with not seeing Ghost ever again in my life. It may be fun, but I won't. Like,
I agree, man.
I can't.
I don't know, maybe if they played like the Palladium.
No, if they played with a good bill, maybe, but even then, man, like, I don't know. I haven't even checked the tickets for Volbeat and Ghost, but I'm sure that they're ludicrous already.
Yeah, I think they're playing the Aganis.
Yeah, I don't know. That's...
Yeah, no, it's stupid. Big stupid.
Big. Stupid big. Seriously. It's kind of incredible.
Yeah, that's just so funny. I saw that and I was like, oh. And also, Turnstile and Gatecreeper are playing Post Malone's music festival.
I did not know that. That's pretty damn cool, actually.
Yeah, it's like literally like
I
all
mean,
these like rap and like popular artists, and then you just get like Gate Creeper.
right. I mean,
That's
obviously,
sick.
like we've known for a long time that Posty has been fucking
An OG.
an OG. An OG. I remember the video where Jared Dines gave him an Infinite Annihilator vinyl. Come on, like we've all been there. But
I remember the video where he like before he really blew up, he does like a cover set with Jane's Addiction.
yes,
Or no, wait, with I think it's just Dave. It's like Dave Navarro's other band.
right.
But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't know, it's just I don't know, that's cool, I guess. Metal representation in the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
Look, and if I had tickets for that Chief Keef Turnstile Suicide Boys show, I
Oh
would
yeah,
go.
right. Seriously.
But that's cool. And finally, Metal by the Numbers.
Yeah.
So this is we're working off a little bit of old data because charts take a kind of a bit to update, and they're actually bizarre. But Iron Maiden sold 61,400 copies of Senjutsu, making it by far the biggest metal debut of like the past like
I actually
several years.
there's a Loudwire article. It is Senjutsu is their highest charting album ever on Billboard.
Yeah, number 3, I think.
I think you're right.
Like, to give you some perspective, the Death Heaven, or like the next biggest metal debut of the week would be Carnifex with 2,200, which is ludicrous. Like those are incredible numbers, all things considered.
Yeah.
And Iron Maiden are just like dab.
Yeah, man, it's just I don't know. It's difficult to watch, just watch it unfold, see it happen.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. Definitely puts
yeah,
things in perspective.
weird.
And like, at the very end of this article I referenced earlier, he mentions that Olivia Rodrigo's Iron Maiden number is 2,170.
There you go.
And it just puts like, at the bottom of the list are bands like Yob at like -91, or like Discord at like -99, and like I'd consider those bands like fairly popular.
Right, popular on the internet
So like
realm.
I don't know, nothing we talk about really matters, and metal's probably a dying genre in the mainstream, and like I don't know, it's probably going to be remembered by stuff that was made between the years of like 1980 and 1985 for the rest of, or 1986 for the rest of the time. So that's Pog.
Pogo.
Any other wonderful stories you want to mention?
I actually had one thing, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of lost it as we were talking. But I did. Crap, there was something that I wanted to say, but I think it's gone. I think it's lost in the void of time, unfortunately.
Dude,
I think it was Tor related or something. I can't even remember.
I don't know.
I don't know either. And on that note, fuck, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Damn.
we'll release 2 of these this week. Who knows?
I think we will release 2 of these this week. The last episode will be coming out on the day that this is recorded or the day after. And this episode will be released on Friday, which is going to be our aim for the future going forward. So stay tuned for, I guess, next Friday when we talk about something. It could be. It may even be the continuation of the Opethcy and listening.
We just need to like buckle down and like suffer through Pale Communion Sorceress.
Yeah.
And then we can be like, okay, and Code of Venom's good.
Yeah, I've got to remember.
Oh, seriously.
funny.
I've been Sam.
I'm Adam.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Yeah, bye-bye.